everybody, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who have been following my blog for a while, you'll know that I'm an astrologer. I'm a life coach, but I call myself a life navigator because I use the planets to help people to navigate themselves to their true potential, which is really my work. The other thing I do is I do art and soul workshops, which is combining creativity with the life navigation, which I'll tell you about at some point. Today, we're going to focus on the astrology of the moment, and I hope to be putting these videos out quite often, and I'm going to intersperse them with written blogs and just see how it goes. So please bear with me. This is my first video, so I'm a bit nervous, and I'm sure it's not going to be perfect, but that's the theme of today's video, so it's okay if it's not perfect. So if we look at what astrology really is, astrology really is the study of energy. And we are energetic beings with a body, and we are made up of the same substance as the stars and the planets. And so therefore, when something happens out there, it happens to us inside as well. So when we look at something like the new moon or the full moon, or when the sun's in Virgo, for example, we feel innately, we feel that energy, and we can respond to it and work with it, or we can fight against it. So really my aim with this work and these videos is to help you actually just work with the energy so that you can actually best optimize it. So what are we looking at for the next week? On the 20th of September, we have a new moon in Virgo, and not only are the sun and the moon in Virgo, but we also have the other three personal planets, which are Mars, Venus and Mercury. So that's a lot of Virgo energy. It's not always like that. So at a new moon, you have the sun and the moon together in the sky at the same degree, and that sets off a moon cycle. So whenever you want to plant seeds, you plant them on a new moon so that they can grow. And that's true for agriculturalists and farmers and gardeners. They'll know that something will grow better if you plant on a new moon, on a waxing moon cycle. If you want something to get smaller, you actually do it on a waning moon cycle. So with this moon cycle, we have all this Virgo energy. So let's just go into Virgo a little bit. Virgo is an earth sign. It's a mutable earth sign, and it's a sign of pragmatism. Virgo people are very discerning. They can be very analytical, very strategic. Now that depends on whether your moon or your sun is in Virgo. You might have another 3 personal planets in Virgo. It's not all about your sun sign. And even though we might not have a sign, a planet in Virgo, we're still going to feel the energy when there's a lot of energy in Virgo. So this is the theme for the next few weeks, this Virgo theme. So the best way that we can use it is we can actually use the Virgo energy to help us to organize things, because Virgo energy is quite orderly, likes to put things in boxes, likes to clear things up, likes to discern what's good and what's not, what should be kept and what should be thrown away, is very involved with what is good to eat, what serves us, what isn't feeling good for us, how much exercise to do, whether it's too much or too little. Virgo, at this time of the year, we actually have more of a sense of that, so we can actually tune into it. We can also listen to how our minds work. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of the mind, and Mercury is in Virgo right now. So the mind is quite prominent right now, and so we've got to just be mindful in terms of bringing our minds to stillness, because we could get bombarded by thoughts at this time as well. And many of those thoughts could be self-critical. Virgo, in addition to it being a great organizer, it can also be quite critical and quite perfectionistic. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. I have Virgo, for example, this is how you work with a chart. I have Virgo on the top of my chart, which is the career axis. Now that's helped me very much in my past careers as video producer and as an event organizer, where basically I spent my life organizing things and making sure that the lists were there and that they were ticked off and that everybody arrived on time. Now that Virgo energy helped me because I'm actually quite scattered, and that's the one area in my life that when I focus, I can generally make it happen. But it takes a bit for me to focus. So I can use that Virgo to great effect if I want to get something done, and I put my mind to actually doing it in a logical sequence. However, the stumbling block comes when there's too much perfectionism. And I think a lot of us deal with that. And really, I'd like to encourage you over the next few weeks to just really look at where you are critical and where you are perfectionistic, and see where it's serving you and where it's not. So, you know, if you're a surgeon and you need to do something with great precision in case you damage somebody's body, then yes, you need to be absolutely precise. But in daily life, that kind of perfectionism can actually stifle our spontaneity, our creativity, our sense of fun, and it can actually paralyze us from moving forward. So we might want to do something, but we might be scared to do it because we're going to get criticized, or we think we're going to get criticized, or we're going to criticize ourselves, or we're going to look at it and say it's not up to scratch, and therefore I shouldn't do it. And I'm going to encourage you to just look at those areas in your life to see where are you holding yourself back because you're fearful of putting something out there that isn't up to scratch, that isn't up to your perfectionist ideal. And is it really that important? Or is it more important that you give a voice to your expression? And if some people don't like it, that's okay. Maybe one person or two people will. Maybe you'll like it, or more importantly, and maybe it'll be a growth step for you to actually face your own criticism and to kind of, with a lot of self-acceptance and a lot of self-love and a lot of compassion, to actually just guide yourself through it. So this process of me doing this video hasn't been easy, and I've had to constantly go back to, it's okay, you're new at this, and it probably won't be perfect. I'm sure it won't be perfect, and that's okay. But I've had to constantly talk to myself and counsel myself through that, because I'm a video producer. In the old days, I didn't actually press the buttons on the video and put the lights up and do the editing. We would go and produce it and direct it, which is a very different thing. So my standards in that area are very high, and that can actually be a stumbling block rather than a help. So ask yourself the question, where are my standards maybe too high, where they're actually holding me back from doing the things that I really want to do? And how can I actually take the next step forward and do the things that I want to do without worrying too much about what other people will think and about whether it's perfect or not? And I leave you with this quote and some reflection on just exactly what you would like to actually set in motion in this next waxing moon cycle. And I'll check in with you again, hopefully in a week or two's time. Thanks for listening.